Okay. Ooh. Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Yoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? Sorry, I'm late again. But let's see. I already see many of you here. Okay. I took a poll of everyone here, and we are all okay with you starting early. Yeah, that's a comment from an hour ago. Hi, beautiful Yoko. Why? You guys commented way earlier. That's funny. Ahoy, beautiful people. Ahoy. Ahoy. Am I saying it? Okay. You here. Fourth. Cool. May the fourth be with you. Yes. I really love Yoda. I speak like Yoda though because I'm Japanese. It's all the sentences that Yoda forms. It's all, the order is the opposite. Great, I feel, or something like that. That's exactly how I talk in Japanese. Hello, Yoko and Hide. Hello. Hide is actually watching TV in the living room. I want to put this here, but right here, guess what I have here? Keyboard. Not that keyboard that you imagine, the piano kind of keyboard here. I was making music after forever yesterday because I got tired of playing the game, over and over again, and I wanted to feel refreshed. For those who don't know who I am very well, I'm a musician too, at heart. I before I came to political field, I was determined to become a famous musician, and therefore that's why I began my YouTube journey when I was in university. My first cover was, what is that band's name? Backcountry? No, what? It was something about the snake. I forget. Oh, seven. Wait, Avenge for something. It matters to me. Sorry. Avenged Sevenfold. Oh yeah. I don't even listen to them anymore. But anyway, 今日は何を話されるんでしょうか。司法が権力に負けるなんて日本は確実に終わりました。終わってません。ちょっと何の話をしてるかよくわかんない。About Trump? Hey Yoko, hi. Thanks for coming. I'll talk about politics in a minute. Just greeting to you guys. I really am into spirituality, so I was watching some stuff on YouTube, and last night I had a heavy stomach pain because I have a disease, and I was watching some Buddhist monk speaking, and I realized, like, this is something I know, but like I realized that we're here in this world, on this earth, only for a short period of time. So like I really am thankful for you guys that you actually give your time to me, watching these live streams. See, it matters a lot. It's really amazing that we are sharing the same moment, like if you look back in history, there are centuries, many centuries before us, and people were there, but we didn't, meet those people back then. We are here with each other. We're stuck with each other, and that's kind of cool. So anyway, hello, Yoko-san. Hello. Familiar faces. Nanina. Hey, hello. Ohio, Yoko looks amazing and elegant as always. Thank you. I try. Okay. Thank you. こんにちは。楽しんでください。Thank you. Hey, Yoko, how are things going in the land of the rising sun? good, I think. Today, Kishida went to the affected area of the earthquake. The leftists and those who are against him, whoever is against Kishida, was bashing him for not going to the affected area, but he didn't because he didn't want to bother. Like they had to rescue the people first, and also so acknowledge what's really going on, so he will know what to do and so on. And he's the head of our country, like political leader. Like we have emperor, but for politics he's a leader, and the leader doesn't have to go there because we have a system, right? Like as a nation. And when a leader goes somewhere, the whole set of the crew has to go together, and the local people that welcome him have to be prepared with the strict security, which Japan is not really good at, to be honest, because our former prime minister was assassinated, and Kishida was even it's good. It's like it's a miracle that he didn't get hurt at all. Like he didn't get injured by that, but somebody tried to kill him, or either kill him or attack him, but it failed because of the people that were there. But sorry, my internet is a little weak. I don't know why. I probably need to get a better Wi-Fi. But yeah, so now he is there, and I want to talk about Taiwan election, but just seeing you guys engage your creativity. Yes, please do a live stream on Monday so we can all watch the Iowa results together. Oh, good idea. That's so soon. Okay, I should put that in my calendar. I hope I don't forget though. I should write that here on a notepad. Notepad app. Iowa live stream. Okay, I won't forget probably. Oh man, I forgot to send that guy the address to send stuff. Okay, good to see you, Yoko, and chat. Hope you are all well. Thank you. You guys good too? How are you guys doing? Avenged Sevenfold. Yeah, so somebody knew that. Interesting. Cool. Trump 2024. How's that looking? Like I thought though that I don't think that DeSantis has hope, because like when it comes like this election is all about who you are voting for. Like it's not about blah, blah, policies, and rather than that, it's about who you're voting for. And also, if policy it's largely about foreign policy, I feel like you might think about the borders and the economy and blah blah blah, but if you look at the big picture, I think that the majority of people are interested in foreign policy, because that's how the money is moving, especially towards Nikki Haley. So, and when it comes to foreign policy, like I don't have any impression from DeSantis. He did come to Japan to, see what he can do, but and we are thankful, but doesn't pop. He doesn't pop. Yes, that band was really good. Your perspective is good to know, Yoko. Thank you too. Thank you. Very familiar. Yes. Okay. Safety of top elected official takes precedence over a photo op. Difficult words. How is the illegal immigration in Japan? Also, I hope everyone is safe from that tsunami earthquake. Yeah, like unfortunately, I believe that over 200 people are found to be dead, from the earthquake, and the affected area, it's like is it called peninsula? Like, the ocean, and then right. So and on the top, it's really facing the ocean, and they're isolated because they don't have many roads, and the roads are, I don't know if it's old or because the energy was so big, but the roads are damaged, or there are like lots of sand and so on, and people can't walk there. So the self-defense forces are, they carry the heavy stuff and walk to the affected area because they are isolated. They don't have water or food, and so yeah, still some people are living like that, and we are aware, but we are doing the best that we can. And I'm amazed though that, even though this time a lot of people were sacrificed and so on, still like I'm amazed by my own country that we actually have a system to help the people immediately, and to, it's the food and water and also the volunteers and self-defense forces, and we have the system with the food industry too. So like the government works with the, private companies to get the food and water to the people and so on. So like I'm like, wow, like we learned that from the huge earthquake in 2011, in Fukushima. But yeah, like I realized like the damage is so huge, but because of that though, like we don't just let it uh you know let it go. We learn from what happened, so yeah. I will die for Yoko, don't die for me. Uh, Spoiler, Trump will win. Yeah, it's good and bad, to be honest. I love Trump, don't get me wrong. I am team Trump, but I'm just, as I said last week, I really hope that he uh he will have good brains when it comes to foreign policy. I know that economy wise he's good, like he's a businessman and he has this good instinct, but when it comes to foreign policy, we have to remember that even though he was the president, he's new to political field. And political field is so much different from business field because you can't just push your power onto the others to make changes happen. Like in business, you can kind of do whatever. I feel, especially in the US, like there are lots of loopholes, and the people and blah blah. But politics is a little unique. So but anyway, in the title, I'll put Taiwan, and data. I haven't read it because my husband just bought it for this stream. But you see yeah, that's Lai, Mr. Lai, who won the election in Taiwan. Congratulations! So it says Taiwan, president, democracy. Oh, what's that English translation? Lie. So against China, maintaining the current situation or the premise or status quo, I would say. So yeah, yesterday they had the election, and the Mr. Lai won, which we wanted, because he doesn't say it lately, but he wants Taiwan independence. So that's good, right? So that's why, as Japanese, like we love that about him. But just checking his profile, it says that he graduated from Harvard. Like he's a Harvard graduate. I mean, from the grad school. Super smart. That's crazy, man. But yeah, he's still young, right? Somewhat young, 64. 64 is kind of young in this era. In this generation, political generation, I feel cool. So yeah, it's about the identity as Taiwanese. And China, oh yeah, he calls himself a Taiwan independence person, but yeah, China China knows it too. But anyway, China was so quiet when it comes to this election. Like if they saw it the last time, Taiwan had this election, there was lots of protests going on in Hong Kong, and Taiwanese people saw that, thinking that they're going to be the next. So they won, but this time China learned the lesson and they stayed calm. Because like when Pelosi visited, like after she visited Taiwan, like China became very aggressive and so on, but it kind of toned down, right? But anyway, yeah. So that's a good start for the election year. Where else has election? Like, of course, America, but wasn't there somewhere else? I forget. Sorry, my memory is not so clear. DeSantis is great as a governor, but not for president. Yeah, that's what I feel. He's a great governor. Like I know that. Yes, he definitely is. But when it comes to president, it's a little different. I know that he can learn though. And I'm not saying to look down on him. Like he's an amazing leader of Florida. But just saying. Hooray for Taiwan! I think we can all agree Taiwan is a country. Yeah. Sadly though, like I believe both Japan and the US don't have like the like we don't acknowledge the country as a country. We love Taiwan though. Oh, when it comes to Taiwan, I really have to thank them. Like I thank them, Taiwan, Japan. What's the word? Aid or something? What's that? 60 million yen. Is that because the amount keeps getting bigger, but Taiwan to donate 60 million yen. Wait, what is that? 418 one. Wait, how do I read that? It's so enormous. I don't know how to read. What, 418 $800? I don't know how to read that in English. Oh my gosh. Just enormous money, they're giving lots of donation for us. Taiwan is giving us lots of money to help us. And when Taiwan is affected, we're one of the first countries always to help them too. But yeah. And one thing that was good recently is that what was it, the current president? Yeah, I think so because it's for the earthquake. When the huge earthquake hit here on the first day of this year, Taiwan said that Japan's emergency is Taiwan's emergency. And that's actually like something that Prime Minister Abe said back in the day. Taiwan emergency is Japan emergency. So like just showing that we are tied together, like we are in this together, right? So it was meant for the threat by China to Taiwan, but the Tsai Ing-wen, she referred to that comment by changing the words around and to make it opposite to show that they're with us, after the huge earthquake hit us. So we are very thankful. They were there to help us too when the huge earthquake in 2011 happened. Of course, the US was amazing. There was Operation Tomodachi, Operation Friend, and the US military people helped us a lot. So it's good. Yoko Biden said we do not support independence in response to Taiwan's election. Sad. Maybe he was thinking about something else. He's just so like frank, like he's so honest when it comes to commentaries like that. Like he's not supposed to say that, I guess. Or maybe he is. I don't know which. Like there is a theory called madman theory, right? Trump does it. Like Trump is a good-hearted person, like a very kind person, like according to those who around him, and he's an amazing leader. But when it comes to Trump's tactics, like we don't know the cards that he will play, right? Like we don't know what Trump would do, and that's why like he is strong, because we can't tell. It's so hard to read, hard to negotiate in that sense. But when it comes to Biden too, it's not like there's a tactic called strategic ambiguity. Like I can't say that word. Ambiguity. So hard. English is so hard. Okay. Ambiguity. Strategic ambiguity, right? But Biden's case is that it's not like it's not strategic, but just ambiguity. So yeah, that's we get confused because he is confused, right? So yeah. Anyway. I wouldn't be die for Yoko because she was like, yeah. And in my opinion, we don't die. I'm Japanese and I believe in reincarnation. Like our soul is somewhere up there, accessing this world. That's how I feel. Like I'm probably I'm somewhere up there or wherever playing this Earth game. Oh, hey, don't stop. Camera. I don't think it's a camera. Oh, wow. Sorry. Hey. I think it's a camera. Sorry. Wait. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Should I switch to this one? Oh, can I open here? I look much more like pale. Sorry. Does it work? I hope. It was a little embarrassing that you saw my room. Good that I didn't have anything embarrassing, like my underwear or anything. Is that good enough? Oh, sorry. My internet is it's a computer, I think. Like I didn't restart this computer. I mean laptop after I made music here. So it's probably the cache and everything. Anyway, I hope this works. Let's see. Where was I? Trump had the right ideas on foreign policy, but allowed too many neoconservatives into his circle to sabotage his agenda. Yeah, I mean, that's politics. You can't you can't do everything that you promise the people to promise the people with. And so that's why some people, that at least what I hear in Japan is that, just like I said before, if Trump wins, then this second term will be much more aggressive than before. Like, he will become more like a dictator because he will surround himself with the aides that are loyal to him, you know? So that's a game changer. So like, he will, and he has nothing to lose. This is his last term. So he will be more free than before. So some people are saying that, it will be dangerous, right? But at the same time, the last term too, when he was the president, even though he, promised a lot of things, just like you said, like, it didn't, like, he was great, but not as much as we thought that he would be, because his standards were so high. Right? Like, it takes time and lots of efforts to make it happen, and lots of cooperation that he would need. So one of my good conservative friends in the US, actually, she said that she, at that time, before the Israeli attack against Hamas, no, that's the opposite way. Hamas attacked Israel. Sorry. So before October, was it like 7th or so? Before that, my friend from the US messaged me and said that she supported Trump before, and voted for Trump, but this time she is leaning towards DeSantis, because and one of the reasons why was because she expected more from Trump, but he didn't really do as much as she thought, right? So then she was like, oh, maybe DeSantis this time. So that's the way of thinking right there. So to look at it around to the opposite way, it contradicts it's the opposite from the first one that I just said. That some people say that Trump would be dangerous, but even if he builds a system anyway, like, it's a political, like, he has to play it under the political system. So maybe, like, even if people think that's the way that it's going, maybe it's not gonna happen like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what I'm trying to say. But just so you know, my friend that messaged me like that said that after the attack against Israel, she said that it's Trump, like, what we need is Trump, because that's what I thought too. Like, after the attack, like, America needs a strong leader. Like, DeSantis is too weak. He might be a great politician, like, for Florida, but as the leader of the world, you need somebody strong, right? So I think that, like, many people are feeling that way. And super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I'll talk about that later again. Do you think Japan can use the Taiwan issue to quickly remilitarize and get rid of the US base? No, I don't think so. I mean, in order to fight against China for Taiwan or this area, we need the US. And that's why we've been doing joint exercises together. Japan and the US, or today I think that we are doing with South Korea too. Like, South Korea and the US, of course, they do joint military exercises together. But now the President Yoon from South Korea is very, like, his policy, he's still, when it comes to historical disputes that we have in between, he's still South Korean. But so, like, we don't agree, on some topics, but when it comes to national security, he knows that he needs to teams with us. So we are cooperating together, doing military exercises together, and so on. Sorry, my throat is so dry. So so our plan is to work together and not to kick out the US. So, but when it comes to remilitarize, we have self-defense forces, but we want to, of course, like conservatives here, including myself, we want to have our military forces like officially. And in order to do that, we need to first revise our constitution. It could happen though. Like it's getting more realistic than before. I think it's the most realistic point in history now, because everyone can see what's happening. Even the leftists, they want to protect human rights of those who are oppressed by China. They don't necessarily attack China because that's their politics. It's their domestic policy. But when it like domestic, that's actually wrong recognition. But they don't want to interfere in the leadership of CCP, the leftists, But leftists do care about human rights oppression, because they're there to protect people's human rights. And so even here in Japan, like Japanese leftists are pro-China, like extreme leftists, but moderate leftists nowadays, like over the past few years, have become they became similar to the leftists in the US, the moderate leftists in the US. They care about human rights. Like if you look up Nancy Pelosi, for example, she cares so much about the human rights oppression in Tibet, Uyghur, and I don't know if she knows about Southern Mongolia, but yeah, and also Taiwan. She did visit Taiwan recently, whether you liked it or not, right? Like there are consequences, but yeah. So our leftists are becoming like her in a way, and yeah. So things are changing, and Kishida is right now, politically speaking, his party has lots of problems, like money problems. And it's not his fault, it's just how the party is. Like that's what happens when you have a big party, and when politicians want to survive as politicians, to make sure that they get votes, and also they need money to get around as politicians. Like being a politician costs a lot. You have to go to a fancy restaurant and meet people and make sure that the money flows in the circle. So like lots of things to take care of, right? And so there are money problems, and I'm pretty sure that other party National Diet members are doing the same kind of things, but yeah, it's now the party has problems, and the only way to survive for Kishida, in my or my husband's opinion in the first place, but in our opinion, is that Kishida, if he says that we need to revise our constitution to have our military, then he can regain conservative votes, because conservative or right-wing people are now bashing, like some of them are bashing Kishida for all the problems, because they are upset still by the assassination of Abe, and they like, now we lost somebody that we all worshipped. Worship is not a good word when it comes to political leaders, but like I'm not them, so that's why I call them like that. But there are worshippers, of Abe, and they can't still get over it mentally. And so like they're looking for something to attack. And right now, even though Kishida was a foreign minister assigned by Abe when he was in power, meaning that he was trusted by Abe, and his abilities were bought by Abe, right? Like he has all these amazing skills, and Abe knew it. That's why he assigned him for foreign minister. But the oldest conservative people and so on are calling him like not conservative and is it like a traitor or yeah, because I guess because of the LGBT law. There was a legislation that passed last year around spring, I think. And Rahm Emanuel, your ambassador, American people, yeah, Rahm Emanuel, U.S. ambassador to Japan, like he pushed that legislation too, but basically supporting it's that point of that problem, I believe, was about the self identification of gender. So like we had lots of discussions like that. But anyway, so lots of conservatives were and right wings were mad about the legislation, but the legislation itself, it didn't really mean like it was about how we are supposed to think. Like, oh, let's not discriminate, LGBT people, and that was T was not included maybe, but no, no LGBT, it did say LGBT, sorry. So yeah, so it was about like how we are supposed to look at those people, right? And then recently someone did get arrested because he or she, I think it was a he, heard that like he could do whatever he wants now because of the legislation, and that's not the case, and he got arrested. So it's not, the law is not something that conservatives and right wings bash it as, if you know what I mean. But they don't care and just bash Kishida for nothing. So in order to regain the votes from them, Kishida has to go conservative, right? If you do the political math. So in order to do that, then he can say like, let's revise our constitution, right? And then the conservatives will be like, yeah. So that's the scenario, I think, the realistic scenario, I think. Okay, sorry, my necklace is making a noise. Where was I? Good on Taiwan. Next step is to arm up their citizens just in case the PRC isn't bluffing. The question that we have in East Asia now is it gonna be Taiwan first or Japan first? Like the, where China is gonna attack, China has been coming into the waters around Senkaku Islands, our Japanese islands, like every day, literally every day. It's so crazy, and they come in several vessels, one with a cannon always, meaning that it's a military threat. They say like, oh, it's a government, like official ships, like no harm. They're just observing the area, whatever. But they have weapons, and they're just creating the past that, oh, they were there, meaning that the islands belong to Chinese, not us. So that's the story that they want to create. But last time we checked, like before Senkaku Islands became Japanese islands, there was no owner of those islands. So China should have raised their hands, when we asked asked internationally, like, oh, does anybody has this island? No, okay, mine, right? That's what Japan did, but yeah. I'm not calling Trump dictator, but he would have a system like a dictator, meaning that if you have everyone around you with the loyals, which he calls, then that's It's just power. Because like if you say something different or not appropriate for him, then he can fire you and replace you with some other loyal person. Then that's not reflecting any others' opinions. So that's what people mean by becoming like a dictator. Systematically, no. Even China is not really a dictatorship country, but we call him Xi Jinping a dictator, if you know what I mean. Do you think Japan will ever make an effort to get rid of the US bases though? I'm not sure. Because it's so far away. First, we don't even have our military first. Of course, like conservatives, our dream is to be militarily independent, as a country. So another country's base being here is kind of weird. But then in a time like this, right after the World War II, of course we wanted those bases to be out of our country because this is our independent nation and we don't want to be occupied, right? So that's what we are thinking. But then when we were discussing stuff like that, like should we, depend on no, it's not the dependence too. Like it was the enemy's bases back then. But so then we, the way that we look at things changed, gradually because we have threats in our neighboring countries. So even though it was not a good thing at first, we realized like, oh, we are actually protected by this, So of course it doesn't come for free. We are paying a lot of money for America to stay, and we cooperate together a lot. And I'm not saying that Japan is, doing everything. Like it's a mutual thing, but still, like I don't think any other country is like this, as far as I know. Like I don't know in details, but that's what I hear. So yeah. Right now, though, like if we talk about getting rid of the US bases in Japan, then the direction that we are supposed to take is to be independent, right? But China, North Korea, and other countries take advantage of this discussion to drive us against America. Like in order to, because if we are talking about now, so it's not about the future, but if we focus on now, China does want to get rid of US bases from here because then Japan will be more vulnerable, right? And the US actually does want to withdraw. Like what? It doesn't matter if it's the country is led by Trump or Biden or whoever. The threat is coming more and more. Like the threat is expanding. So that's why the US is actually reforming how they structure the bases. Like they want to withdraw to Guam and do it like fundamentally, like they don't want to be in Okinawa because it's dangerous. Their people could die, their soldiers could die, and they don't want to risk it. So they are de-risking, as much as they can. It will be more still effective, because we are all cooperating and so on. But yeah, so China wants it to be that way. They want to make us vulnerable. If our team, our side of the countries are, if we're all around here, then we are more safe, of course. So like, yeah, it's just not realistic to talk about that now. But mentally, we do want to be independent, I guess, in summary. Yeah. Yes. That way of thinking was correct right after the World War II, but along the way, like it has been decades now. And the situation that like China grew rapidly, especially militarily and economically during that period. So yeah, the premise has changed. So we have changed. Hmm. Woman, adult human female. Not by me. What? I feel Kishida is correct. Kishida is conservative. Yeah, he's actually conservative. You know what he has done politically. It's very conservative because he's been achieving what Abe couldn't finish. When he was alive or when he was in power. So yeah, it's amazing. But like Kishida is not thought to be conservative, so that's why the left cannot bash him. And also they don't even notice what he is doing because he's Kishida. Like they don't expect conservative things from him. Because I don't think that he is really conservative or anything, he's just doing the job. And also just looking at the what's happening right now, every day, and he's just handling what's happening. And also he is very sensitive when it comes to the public opinion, so he knows what to do for the people. Even I can't tell if it's for the people or for him eventually, but yeah, he's hearing like what he appeals to us is that he has the ability to listen. So yeah. Let's see. Trump is going to name Bobby Valentine as ambassador to Japan. He is a former baseball manager who managed the Chiba Lotte Marines to a championship. Valentine 監督. He almost picked him, but didn't pick. Decided to pick Hagari. Oh, I see. Yeah, Hagati was really, really good. He still is great to Japan. That's interesting. I'll remember that. Yoko-san, just be aware there are bots in your life. Really? I don't see them. Do you have any art for sale? Yes, I do. I have art pieces available. And the link to buy, or purchase, is in the description box below. Please buy. Yes, it's crazy how fast time flies, and I realized like, it's the time to pay, right? Like it's so interesting because like I do these live streams, you guys give me super chat, and I can pay for some of the expenses, like this StreamYard services, and I'm using like Canva to like I have all these paid services to do what I do. And then I'm like, I can pay, and then the money's gone, and I'm like, oh man, I need to check my lots of things to check. Money wise. It is corruption, Yoko, not loyalty, which Trump had trouble with his cabinet. Not entirely, in my opinion. Especially Pence. I actually feel bad for Pence, and I think that Japanese people probably can relate with me on this, like if they understand common sense. But yeah, but I know your emotions and so on, though, like where you guys are coming from, and I'm not like denying you. just like, even though, like, how I am politically is that I understand where people are coming from, like what makes their political opinions as they are, the backgrounds of, like, backgrounds that make that political thoughts. And each has a story and perspective. And I understand that, even if they are leftist, like, I know where they are coming from. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's how they think. That's their thought process. And I can see that, and I don't judge that, And I have my own as Japanese too. So yeah, just saying that. Because, like, it's not like, oh, you're wrong, like, nobody's wrong. I hope Americans are viewed as being distinct and separate from their leaders. Yeah, I think so. Like, when we think of Americans, we think of just happy people, happy, loud people. Maybe it's not just me. Americans, though, like, you know how I can tell some people are American? Because they are loud. Like, in Japan, there are lots of white people here too, black too, but, or Asian, who knows. But of course, like, I can hear American accent, but at the same time, like, yeah, I can just tell, American. Yeah. But anyway, that's a different topic. Yeah, leaders are leaders, and I think that Japanese people in general, the majority of us are not interested in politics. Like, we have somewhat peaceful country, so we don't care about policies. Like, we don't have to, because we are comfortable here, right? So what happens is that many of the people don't know what's happening in political field, meaning that we don't know politicians. And it's if Japanese people know our ministers' names, then that's high level. Really. Like, people, yeah, like, the best that people usually do is the prime minister's name. And if they know the cabinet members, then that's good, really good. But anyway, so what happens is that Japanese people just look at politicians as politicians. In political field right now, as I said earlier, there are problems of LDP right now about money. And so the leftists and whoever is against Kishida is bashing LDP right now with the money problem, but the majority of, like, ordinary Japanese people, ordinary people are just looking at it as, oh, politicians' problem, not LDP's problem. You know what I mean? So just like that, like, we have that mindset generally. So what happens is that when we look at other countries, if we look at Biden or even Trump, oh, that's a politician, political world, dirty world, or whatever like that. So yeah. So you don't have to worry about that. But when it comes to like military though, like especially through the Fukushima disaster, the earthquake in 2011, the US military was really, like, helping us. So that's why, like, I think that we grew our attachment to the military people. I don't know, maybe it's within the conservative circle. I can't tell. But even for, like, Japanese people too, the Communist Party here and so on were really, like, bashing our self-defense forces for such a long time, saying that they are dangerous and they shouldn't walk in public with their uniforms on and so on, because they just look like soldiers, right, on battlefield. And and the leftists say that it's dangerous, like those are dangerous people that kill others and blah blah blah. So the self-defense forces were bashed so much before, but through our natural disasters, it's the self-defense forces people that go help, risking their own lives, and they actually rescue, the people alive from very like difficult occasions, and we see that, and the people with common sense can see like who they are. They're amazing, kind-hearted, just brave people that rescue others, right? So when we see that, we are touched, so we don't care about all the criticism and we can just see the people, right? So like, yeah, that side of our mentality is changing too, but it's gonna when it comes to having a military though, that's a different level, so it's gonna be difficult. But if Japan got military independence, how would that affect the culture? How does the lack of military requirement sorry affect the Japanese? Lack of military requirement? What do you mean the lack? Japan got military independence. How would the affect? What kind of effects would it have to the culture? That's a huge question. Culture as in, I have to ponder on that. Sorry. Konnichiwa. Hello. Hello. Thanks for coming. Yeah, we don't have the military force officially. Japanese self-defense forces are just like weapon. They have weapons, but they are the big police. So they are the police, not the military. So that's why we don't have military officially, but they're working like a military force. Let's see. Like 18-year-olds have to enlist. It means lack of like people. There are not enough people to apply and so on. What's interesting is that I hope that I remember the numbers correctly. But when the earthquake happened recently, we have what we call like, oh wait, I don't know that in English. A reserve self-defense personnels. Just reserve personnels. There are lots of reserve people here, and our government wanted, or the locals wanted 100 reserve personnels to help them, but then 400 people applied for that slot. So that's how much people want to help those who are suffering. So that was a hope that I saw, that when people see all the damages and so on, I think that we will have a switch. Like, oh, we have to do something. So I'm not too pessimistic, but the problem is the population. But when it comes to population, though, what would outsmart the problem would be being effective and like a cost performance kind of way of thinking, that like that's why we need to invest a lot in technology, because maybe we won't need people to, combat and so on, if we have robots. Or if we can, just like, when Pearl Harbor happened, it's something that, of course, Japan and America, we don't want to talk about it together. But just if you look at it like from a operation perspective, what I hear is that back at that time, the the war was, they were doing having wars in like ground to ground, or maybe like sea to land or something like that, but nobody thought of attacking from above, is what I hear. So that's like a game changer, right? Go to the ship from above and hit that huge ship and so on. And so just like that, I think that it's Japanese again. No, I really hope that one day that the surprise attack will disappear. That theory disappears, because it was not a surprise. Roosevelt knew it. But anyway, like we were pushed to the war, if you don't know. But I shouldn't get into that, because the recognitions are different. But yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that we just need to develop new technology, to, like, in the meantime that our economy gets boosted and we have more babies. um yeah, that's something. And also the most important thing is the education and media. So, but what's interesting though is that our TV is kind of changing, when it comes to the reports about China. They have toned it down, to criticize us. Like, our media outlets used to be very much against Japan remilitarizing or cooperating with the US and so on. They didn't want us to have power because they believe that Japan will go out of hand. But the reality is China is out of hand right now, right? Expanding, oppressing other people from other countries, doing colonization in this century. So I think that even the leftists are learning that now. And so the way that they report have, like, it's still not perfect, it's still left bias, but like it's getting better and better. So I think that when we actually face some like real threat, then I think that, like, I'm not pessimistic. So then people will take actions, like when the what's close to, wars is natural disasters. For us, we haven't been to war after, like, we are helping the US, in Iraq and so on, but back in the day, but officially we were not in like we were not in the wars, and the last war that we were officially in was the World War II. And since then, we didn't have any war until now. But we did have lots of natural disasters, and each time we have been training ourselves in a way, I feel. And as I said, like, when there's something that happens, really, like really bad things, when bad things happen, people wake up. So yeah, I'm not too pessimistic about it. Good evening from New Orleans, Yoko. Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Made it through the quake. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. Like, we are far away from where it's shaking. Earthquakes are interesting because there was this area that shook a lot, and then the energy somehow spread around, in some other plate. Like, oh, by the way, through the earthquake, our land expanded, and in the south too. There is this island that is growing bigger, massively. Like Earth changes, very, 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 very gradually, right? Well, like things happen like boom, like like it grows so fast, and we're like, what? I'm like, what are we seeing? Our our territories are getting bigger. So like that's the fun part. But another part is like, but when it comes to the earthquake though, it was a port. Like, is it called a port? They had where the bleh, ships can come in, right, to land, right? But that place facing the ocean, the land rose, and then now that's a land right there. So then the ship can get in. So like we have problems like that too. So it's not too funny. But yeah, it's crazy. Like it's a weird beginning of the year. This election guarantees a Chinese invasion of Taiwan, since now they can't capture them peacefully through the KMT. What is KMT? Sorry, I'm not too familiar with Taiwan issues, to be honest. KMT Taiwan. Oh, 国民党. I see. Peacefully? I don't think there was a peaceful way, though. The only peaceful thing was like all this what China claims, like peace, security, and so on, is the peace and security of CCP. And it's not about Taiwan or China. They're referring to themselves. So what would happen silently is silent invasion. What seems peace doesn't mean good. Peace means that you're silently invaded or silently stolen, that sort of things, in my opinion. So like you need to confront, not necessarily fight, but you have to face at some point. Oh man, I've been speaking for over an hour. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. Yoko, do you and your husband ever speak with Falun Gong members? Yes. Here in America, they are considered extreme and fanatical, but MAGA supporters MAGA supports them because they hate PCP and love Trump. Yeah, they because it's attached to they are religious groups, so they do have, I guess, like when it comes to understanding the world, they might have different recognition. Like the majority of their understanding is correct, but sometimes they are extreme sometimes. So it's a little difficult, but yeah, they are here. And depending on the situation, when we find it effective to have lots of powers together, then we invite them for protest or gathering or any event. So we work closely, just pick and choose when to cooperate and when to not. But yeah, they're same here too, that they support Trump. And that's the problem though. Japanese people, we are unknowingly, like we are unconscious of it, like unaware of this, but we are very spiritual or religious, but Japanese people don't realize it on a daily basis. But and therefore we don't think, the majority of Japanese people don't think that they are religious, so they have like an allergy to religions. When they hear a religion, they're like, "Ugh." Like it's like something that you shouldn't touch, like you want to stay away, because it's not the like basic religions that people are scared of. They are scared of recent what you call it in English? What's a verse that I don't know? New religion, really? Just new religion. Yeah, new religion and cults and so on that we hear a lot on the news. Like we don't want to get close to that. So, and just like people don't like politicians in general here, just like that, when we hear religions, people don't like it and stay away. So, but the thing is that religious people are religious, and what that means is that they are very hardworking. And when it comes to political activities, here in Japan too, the religious group people are very passionate, like really passionate. Like it overwhelms me. I know a couple of groups, like big groups though, including Falun Gong and so on. But they're very passionate and they work so hard, and therefore they stand out, especially under the premise of Japan. And so the Trump supporters, not today, but on the early stage, I was the first in Japan ever to, support Trump back in 2015 to 16. But they saw me, and I don't know if they copied me, but they, began campaigning for Trump. Like their people had their own way of campaigning too. So like I guess that just matched. Like we were doing the same thing on different places, I guess. But so like lots of religious groups are passionate, and Japanese people, ordinary people, are not doing anything. So it's only the religious groups that were doing that sort of like we hate Trump kind of activities. So that Japanese people at first were like, why, But now like we understand Trump's, like the first Trump administration's policies and so on. So like of course the atmosphere changed, but I guess like you can tell what I'm trying to say. Like I like those people though, personally. Like on a political level, I have to think objectively, but on an emotional, like personal level, like they're really good people, like because they care about religion. They're good people. I love politics. Good to know. Japan now seems better at America culture than America. A lot of people say Godzilla -1 was the best movie of 2023. It's a great traditional family story. The holy walk doesn't make anymore. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, we are the last hope for the West. That's so true. That's interesting. Because remember when there was the McDonald's ads of just cute family, dad, mom, and a daughter eating McDonald's, and it's animated. And it's just cute, And Americans, or it might not be only Americans, but the people from the West were like, "Oh, it's so different from my country," like, "Oh, Japan," and they were so touched, and it became viral. And we were really surprised by that, because what we think is normal isn't normal anymore in the Western culture. Oh, sorry, I'm reading like from 20 minutes ago. Yeah. I don't know what to watch on Netflix anymore, so I began watching another. I finished Grace and Frankie. It was so cool. I know that you wouldn't like it because it's not political correctness, but it's rather just progressive, just progressive, and I don't think that you would like it. But then what did I watch? Oh, and I watched a series of Arnold Schwarzenegger, the newest one. Like it's about CIA. I'm like the whole time I'm like, would CIA agents do stuff like that, like by themselves? I had lots of political questions, but I enjoyed it. Even though I don't like Schwarzenegger as a politician, but yeah. And then I'm like, what next? And then I began watching this series, and it's about another gay guy. It's actually good though. Like I have a different set of mind and cultural background, but then it's cool in a way that now gay people and so on, like they have their version of entertainment and so on that they can watch. But if young people watch stuff like that, I think that they would think about things that they don't have to think about. You know what I mean? So like it would confuse them. So even though I enjoy because I'm an adult and I come from a different cultural background, at the same time I'm like, oh, what's happening? you know, and all the characters are in it. It's not all, but almost all. I think the majority, 90% so far that I've seen, are either gay or lesbian or somewhat like this. It's the same sex stuff. I want a cheeseburger. Oh, that makes me wanna have a cheeseburger. Oh no. Dying from lack of sleep. Yeah, I should go too, man. I've been speaking so much. Anime and manga has skyrocketed in popularity in the West because Western media is woke trash. Yeah, like we enjoy common sense, right? When Trump came around, as a player in the political field, it was a fresh air for everyone, right? Yeah. It's cool though. Like he did change the history, Donald Trump. He did an amazing thing in history. Isn't it interesting that those who are, those generations after us, they will look at Trump in textbook. Like, can you imagine that? They will open the textbook, like history textbook, and they will say, like, Donald Trump, what did he do? What? you know? Oh man, I wanna be reborn just to just to see that. Oh, I'm tearing up. Because it's how amazing he is. I don't know what's gonna happen and how he's gonna, get around. But so far, I am really thankful. Even as a Japanese, he changed the game in the world. And then because Biden took over after him, and he didn't, he messed things up. Like the foundation of the game that Trump had built is now like out of control, and it's creating conflicts everywhere. So that's really bad. But it's not Trump's fault, it's Biden's fault. Like it just continued in the wrong way, you know. But because the foundation that Trump was building was so different, yeah, it was Biden couldn't handle. But yeah. Anyway. We will add Trump to Mount Rushmore. Would be cool. Maybe he will do it himself. I don't know. Yeah, he'll be history. And you guys made it happen. So, isn't that cool? Yeah. Yoko, I heard the series Reacher on Amazon Prime was good also. The Terminalist. Cool. Screenshot that. Okay. When it comes to like shows about society or politics or business and so on, my husband and I, we have a same taste, so I'll share with him too. Anyway, I know that many of you are sleepy now, so I should probably get going. So, okay. Thank you for one super chat today. But I hope that I helped you in some way. Okay, and I do this weekly. I try to come earlier, but yeah, I need to be responsible more as a grown adult. This year, I want to be more. I don't know. I want my day to be longer because I wake up at noon or so usually, so my day is short. I can double my day by waking up earlier. Yeah. Anyway. Oh yeah, Monday. Thank you for reminding me. I will tell my husband right after this so that, yeah, we won't forget. Yogo and Japan Got Talent watching Hidecha. Yeah, he's I don't know. There's a political show on Sunday, like here. So bye. I'm tired. Thank you so much for sticking until the end. When I smile, like around here, it's not my teeth. It's it looks dirty. So, it's not my teeth. It's the background. Okay. Thank you. Sweet dreams or have a good day. Okay. Thank you so much again. Maybe I'll be live on my gaming channel, Random Yoko Vlog, or I'll be making music. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a great day or night. Sweet dreams. Okay.